Danes that are on the team, Overpass has been a homestay for Astralis when they played. So watching it all fit together will be quite interesting. A lot of this could come down to Zywoo and his comfort, but
Zywoo and his comfort versus an Opper and Esatag that our two analysts just put through the washing machine, man.
Yeah.
Esatag, I think fair criticism. We saw the statistics, like 0.68 impact rating, something, or KPR.
Yes.
It's low. The numbers are low, and if Zywoo is feeling it, an op fight on Overpass versus this type, I believe what Maui said was the worst Opper at the Legend stage, could be a good chance to just gobble them all up. But as a team, NiP, and with Brolin inside of Connector, that to me is going to be like the big playmaker potential.
Yeah, so the late lurk comes through, and the B site will start to get overrun. Oh, Heaven's still alive. Heaven is still alive. Everyone is very low.
Oh, they find him hiding in the water. Masuda's gun goes dry. Rez. Oh, him and Esatag.
Well.
3 kills back.
Okay.
That's a 2v4. And now it's just Zywoo left over. Easy pickup on Rez. Esatag 100 health. And Zywoo knows he's locked in. He just got to hit that headshot. Either one of them hit the head.
Oh, he took it.
Esatag. 3 frags in the pistol. Swoops in from heaven. And increases those stats as soon as he can.
When you said just Zywoo, I got a little worried. What do you mean just Zywoo?
Just Zywoo.
Everyone's like, what? Because Vitality are a team who, it's hard to say exactly how good they are looking at the teams here in Legends because, yes, they're very good in a vacuum, but they are lacking a lot of big wins, and they're basically only big teams here. And everyone's like, well, why you doubt Zywoo? And it's like, that's the last person to doubt on the team. He's actually the only reason we're even talking about this roster right now. There are too many other problems around him. But man, this game is all about the fact that it's on Overpass. It's such an interesting place to go.
Zywoo lines up too. Galil gets away from him, so Rez with the double kill instead. And the MP9 makes a bit of money here as it pushes back Pistols. When we look at just Vitality for a whole, coming off of the Challenger stage, they've got 3 players who are exceeding their average in the last 3 months, and by notable amounts. Those 3 players, Zywoo, Apex, Masuda.
Yeah.
If Masuda can keep those going, if Masuda can stand up with the rest of them,
yes,
then we're talking. But for now, we're waiting. Because Vitality's Pistols, the 1 kill, Dupree left on his own, and he's not even able to finish off Hampus. So 4 alive looks great for NiP.
We're talking about a 1.15 rating for Masuda coming out of Challengers, which is way above even just his all-time or just the past 6 months. So that's a solid sign for Vitality. And Apex actually just sometimes he makes ostensibly risky decisions that cost his team like rounds or rotations and sometimes even maps because of the amount of info that he gets basically with his playstyle, but he really does have some insanely insane games where he can actually take over the server. Like he actually does achieve those levels sometimes in some of their biggest matches of all time, like notably in a enormous nuke upset that Vitality did to break the streak of Na'Vi at the Blast Ball final. That was all Apex basically. The one guy who individually is not the one you're looking for to make it happen. So if their floor comes up between those 2 players, then yeah, there aren't really that many issues with consistency on the rest of them. Dupree playing, actually, like you mentioned, not one of the players to play above his level necessarily in Challengers, but overall, I think on this roster, he's been the second most reliable player to look at after Zywoo.
Yeah, sometimes even able to exceed Zywoo, on certain maps and certain performances. But I really want this gun round to get underway because this is such a question mark, this map. And if I'm not mistaken, Zywoo's worst performance ever on LAN.
Overpass.
Exactly.
He got unlucky, though. I did unlucky or bad on him. It was very unlucky.
Oh, very unlucky. Not just normally unlucky.
No.
Extra unlucky.
It was.
Hampus 5-1 start, MP9 kills, money.
Yeah, so this could be a story of the floors coming out because just spent all that time talking about Vitality. Then we look over at Esatag, who, again, stats don't lie. He needs to pull it up, and his had a good start right here, at least. So between, I think, him and Plopsky, probably the 2 weakest players on the T side for NiP, which is where a lot of their problems lie. And I agree with Maui, actually, that even if some of the individuals are not all there, NiP's T sides have absolutely improved just by watching them. way more compelling now. They look like they can get a lot done, but that'll be in the second half. In this first half, NiP are looking for a quota of rounds here, CT side. And we'll have to see what the plans are for Vitality. To risk it on a overpass pick in this best of one.
In a
really
best
cool.
of one, man.
Yeah, really.
All right, I'm down. We got lots to learn. Plenty of time to do it.
On paper, I absolutely see this team being an overpass team. So I can understand why. An elite opper. They've got 2 riflers that had this as a mainstay for the majority of their careers.
A very lucid in-game caller.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense.
For now, the ops hunt. Esatag starting to be proactive. A criticism that we have of him at times, and he gets ZywOo second right there for Esatag. Not going to be given that chance as Masuda peeks in while the ops on cycle. Magisk catches Rez's head, and we still have this threat within bathrooms, but Apex is going to try to press along. And Brolin in the smoke with Masuda right beside him. It's a clean trade from Masuda, but Brolin, that element of surprise that will net NiP their 4th round.
Yeah, 10 seconds, no chance to get back. Oh, wait a second, hold on. Can he actually plant the bomb?
No.
Oh my, wait.
What?
Oh, Jesus. I actually don't know.
He had time.
That was so close.
Did he not?
He might not have, I guess. I don't know.
And then
he
dies
dies
anyways.
after time.
No op, no money,
Oh my God, I need
no bomb plant.
I need a nerd out there to do the calculation from where he was. It was about 8 seconds at the top of bathrooms, the bomb directly in his path, and a front dice potential plant. I want to say he wouldn't make it, just to give him the benefit of the doubt. It comes down to 1 second. It comes down to 1 second. Everybody and their mama knows that.
Ooh.
Would he have made it? We don't know. We'll
1
never know.
second.
But it's also a situation where he runs back into the last remaining CT and dies. The other consideration, of course, is that he plants and dies while he's planting or whatever it is, and instead could save the op for sure because he doesn't know where the last CT is. But I just want to know, like, what, you know.
I can 100% see why he would eject that. You know, just abort the play.
He's got the op in hand, so.
He's got an op to save. There's a high likelihood that last CT could just be sitting and waiting. He would have to plant anyways. I can see why Magisk aborts. But if he knew what we knew,
yes,
maybe he runs that chance.
Maybe he runs that chance, or maybe, well, definitely he just sits where he is with the op and doesn't die to the guy in stairs. Money's awkward and ugly for Vitality with that $50 for Magisk.
And if the biggest question mark in this server at the moment is supposed to be Esatag, well, he's already got a 1v1 clutch against ZywOo in the pistol, and he just got an excellent 2K with that op playing proactively, getting aggressive, picking ZywOo before he even saw it coming. Pistols into the B site, everybody's dead essentially. Dupree is elsewhere, and that is just the rifles keeping it clean. So this is not going to be an easy T-side from Vitality with what we've seen from NiP so far, and we haven't even had to say Brolin's name, nor Rez.
You did say Brolin already.
Oh.
You did. In stairs. Brolin's the guy in stairs. He's going to take these
I
duels.
literally, it's actually the first
you can't
person
help
I
it
talked
because
about.
it's Brolin.
Because according to Maui Snake, he is the best player on NiP at the moment.
Yeah, well, I mean, NiP called him the best player in Sweden before he even got there. So that would have to be the case.
5-0.
Yeah. Insane start. Let's look for some answers here for Vitality and see what they could do either differently to fix what they're doing or where it is they remedy their problem. But yeah, we are watching Esatag play with confidence outside Banana on that previous round. Communication.
Nades over.
Oh, they only got one. Oh, interesting. They're doing new nades. Oh, that's huge.
You see Hampus looking at it like, what?
Hampus was literally waiting for nade so he, can go check the spot. And they nade where he stands to wait.
New nades. And by the looks of it, they used the barrel to like change their trajectory. So that's cool.
I actually wondered if that messed them up and then Apex ran back and fixed it. I'm not sure.
Well, until then, the mystery continues on, and the consistency will as well. Connector belongs to Brolin.
You talked about him.
Twice. peek from Magisk around with the Galil. One and done versus Hampus. Finishes off with those nades got started. Still, there's a player in short, but Apex
lights him up.
turns back, plucks Plopsky.
And I mean, that kill is the bomb getting back potentially in time. It could be the difference. They fear a lurk. It's actually Apex to say, hey, let's go back this way. A good amount of grenades here, though, man. They've got 2 incendiaries and an HE, and one of those incendiaries is on res. And if there is no smoke, there's 2 smokes. So they can at least smoke the plant. There's actually a chance here for Vitality.
CT's in position. Essetag waiting for the short play that just won't come. They smoke it off instead again, indicating maybe Brolin could still be lurking from connector towards short. Apex with the bomb plant, but sent spiraling right into Rez's crosshair. Essetag, what is this gap? Nasty. But nobody's going to walk into that. Rez, he gets killed by Zywoo, gives good cover. Then that short play, sure enough, comes through, and Zywoo wins the op duel, turns it into the clutch for Apex, denies Brolin on the short push. They were always wary of him.
Now, I can't believe he swings on Essetag in heaven.
Yeah, Zywoo shoots straight.
That's crazy. Only Zywoo. I swear, anyone does that, and we call it a bad play. The op was right there. That's the main angle they're going to hold with the site smoked, and he just swings into it. Insane.
That's Zywoo.
Yeah, that's insane.
All 3 kills in the 2v3.
Wow. When he killed the guy in front of Essetag, I was like, how did he die like that to the rifle bullets? And it was fucking Zywoo in the back.
He's everywhere, man.
That was such a confidence peak into heaven.
So a little bit of X factor. Actually, it's let's call it the Z factor.
Z factor, I like that.
A little bit of Z
That's pretty
factor
good,
in the
yeah.
post.
The Z factor.
Z for some
Yeah,
of you.
if you're in the UK. Sounds terrible, by the way.
Throw around on long, nothing here. A couple of times, NiP have been pretty content to underplay long A so far. That's one of the pieces that led to Vitality walking up close to the A site. Remember, Apex was able to get into site while Brolin was just hiding in bathroom smoke. Magisk, contact towards B. He's the only player here, and he's got 2 of them busy. Nade, not that bad. Rez will be... Ooh, hold on. Brolin kind of on an island here. He's got players all around him.
Yeah, this comes down to Essetag tether. The flash for the peak. Oh, and Brolin overcommits a little bit. Was about to start slinking out, but there were plenty of Ts waiting in this position. And now Essetag looks to try to find some compensation. Another rifler will come in to support him this time from behind. This is Hampus with at least 1 flash. But now there's some pressure on Hampus himself. And Essetag gets pushed out of his position. Somehow
nice.
Apex wins that duel. That's unreal.
Clean adjustment from Apex.
Oh, the B site is open.
Completely aborted. This B site offered over Plopsky. Fire on Masuda. Ooh, could spread, but won't. And the smoke just in case. Rez with a headshot. That one's coming in from heaven. It's Plopsky empty-handed off the graffiti peak.
Oh, they're just getting out of it? Okay, no. Yeah, they're
and
leaving.
They concede.
2v3, the 1 kill. Man, that's Apex right there.
Yep.
The rotations are convinced after he gets his first.
One of those situations where, Maui Snake in the pregame was talking about how at times Essetag is an inactive opper. He'll sit and he'll hold an angle, and he won't make his plays, and then just towards the end of the game, maybe he tries them. We saw a proactive peek around the left side of bathrooms to kick off an early 2K, nearly 3. This round, when they're just setting up and they have their grenades, and we see them being chucked over into the A site, he held an angle where 3 players are able to rotate down connector. Should he have peeked that at any point?
The problem there was actually Hampus, because Hampus has to watch for his long lurk in that situation where he's pushed up outside the bathrooms. And if they had a smoke, they would have smoked the front side bathrooms. Essetag could have the outside, and then they wouldn't swing into Essetag. But Hampus has to make sure that a rifler can't come in and shoot him in the back. So that was the misplay by Hampus, actually. If there was an op that could have aggressed through long, then Hampus wouldn't have the right to peek. And I don't remember exactly how many grenades he had to work with. But that was a position where Apex both won the rounds by getting the kill on him and also just completely disrupted Essetag in his spot where he could have found more if Hampus had just killed him, basically, or discouraged him even from peeking, not even just
Held
killed
him
him
back.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, for now,
Yeah. I think the other criticism that Maui brought up that's also really pertinent is copying and pasting the same plays. Hashtag going back to what works all the time, but then it ends up being very predictable. That's something that right now we're seeing two of the same ideas come out in these rounds, playing on the outside of bathrooms. So variety of play and opening setups for Hashtag will be another point to pay attention to.
Gonna go for the quad stack. Yeah. And he's up. And he wiggles around. And he hunts.
We can already see a bunch of things where they are taking a bit more time to get things right with stuff that they clearly have learned just to play this map. Whether it's those new nades that they threw or even transitioning into that 4-man boost as quickly as possible.
How's that happen?
I don't know. Where is the X? Was it a short player?
Down goes Brolin. So 2 ESPs and an AWP. I think maybe the X's are stacked. Maybe that's 2 kills inside a short. Yeah, because Hampus just ran over and got... I don't know. I don't know.
They know the last rifle is here.
Yep.
And Esatag actually comes up in heaven. And Magisk will not see him.
Esatag going to give Magisk a little more wiggle room. Just a bit. Oh, and Apex.
Wow.
Yeah, hard clears that smoke.
He's playing well.
Now it needs to be all Esatag, and he gives up the angle as they all start running inwards. He just wants to leave. He wants nothing to do with this. He wants to save his op. He wants to move it forward, keep that money. As Vitality keep the rounds rolling. 3 now on this T side.
Seen some key kills out of Rez so far this match. Seen some good stuff for sure out of NiP. But now Vitality, I think, are done being completely rocked. They've got their feet firmly planted.
They'll let you have 5, but enough is enough.
Exactly. Oh man, this actually might be a hard save. They've got one inside the bathrooms. And,
yeah.
Yeah, Hashtag smartly is coming back to the site, but there's actually 2 players here ready to attack
shots.
him.
Nice
Could he do
shots.
it? Yeah, he's staying alive, and he's knocking out.
Nice shots!
Wow, 5, 10, 15, 20,000 off the table for Vitality in the exit.
Yeah, that's why they call him price tag.
Wow.
He just cost Vitality almost everything. Oh my god, that's so sick.
Yeah, that's actually a huge save.
You know, do that on the B site before bomb gets planted and maybe we've got a round. But he'll hang on. Woo, this one, dude.
Yep, he's feeling it for this game. That's great. So that's a key metric. I mean, that's the thing about NiP is no elite opper. It's the same thing, you know, where you have Ents, where Hades is really good, but when you look at some of the other oppers at this stage, when it comes to, you know, we're talking simple, Brokey, Zywoo, like Shiro, I mean, it's just...
Searson.
This is the thing that's going to make a big difference between qualifying through to playoffs and not making it through Legends, so... They'll try the boost again. Nothing here.
Yeah, barrel's intentional.
Okay. That's cool.
Or he's just really bad at it, but I doubt that. No trade from Apex off of Rez and Plopsky. Dual peek into the monster. Poor Magisk swept away. And Vitality now going to have to fight off a man disadvantage. Boost is really being enabled by the fact that we haven't had any aggression from NiP on the A site. You know, sometimes a player in connector, but content to sit on their bomb sites so far, it seems. Here we go. 45 seconds, and Brolin starts to go gather some information.
Now it's always about this tether. You know, Brolin's going to wait. He's going to listen to them sending up grenades. They're making a ton of noise at this point.
Flash is
Swing
good.
comes through. Oh my god. Somehow it's avoided, but S-Tag still remains. Back dice, 1 kill, crossing the 30-second mark. They're scared to scale. First smoke comes in.
Oh,
Volley in response from Hampus, and they are running through a ton of chaos.
Apex is ahead of it. S-Attack. Whoa! Didn't see him for a second. 15 seconds left. Bomb needs to be picked up, but S-Attack is locking in this A site. And now it's not just the save. He saves the day as he keeps Vitality at bay on long for a 6th to NiP.
He can't miss, dude. He literally can't miss right now. He's actually closing these rounds out. Default did not look amazing from Vitality, I will say. The first kill just came way too easily, and at the point at which they're making so much noise on long, they were just not in a good position to be doing so. And Brolin with the flash retake, it's perfect. I don't know how Masuda's not blind. He might have been looking at the floor to line up his nades for the site, so that could have even been worse.
NiP looking to clamp down on this T side, but Vitality limits Masuda, Desert Eagle only. Galil for Apex, Galil for Magisk. But Magisk is... Oh, I was going to say catch Rez jumping up, but that one came down to the milliseconds. Rez gets the better of him. Now the only thing Vitality to have to play with is long, and right now it's kind of open. We get this rotation up from Hampus.
They're giving up the option to walk it, though. Now some noise can be made. Really reinforced A setup. Love this from NiP. Brolin playing the same position this time, but not pushing. And they've got the jump spot to make sure the opponent doesn't get flanked. And Asatag is the guy who just only has one angle to worry about here. Takes that over. Brolin refreshes his position. This is looking as it does in the textbook. You know, really perfect stuff.
So sick, so smooth. But a little bit of life left in this one. If only they had the bomb, then it could have transitioned that much easier. ZywOo onto the AWP. Masuda looking to press forward. Brolin is just camping on this bomb. And Masuda needs to keep it clean. Won't. Leaving ZywOo with 13 HP in the 1v3, 20 seconds, and nothing else to offer for Vitality. A 7th for NiP with this reinforced bathrooms play that Asatag got rolling.
I loved it. I love the setup so much. It looked so much better. It was like that last round, except this time Hampus is actually jump spotting long to make sure that his rifler opera are safe. And Brolin has the inside of bathrooms from his divider position. You know, it's a pretty standard setup. It just worked very well. And Asatag is just getting so much out of the outside of Banana. Vitality cannot get a way back into this. Back to pistols. Will they regret taking it to Overpass?
Bro, I'm gonna hear the audio. Oh, ZywOo gets the better of him with just the Glock. Just the Glock.
Yeah.
He said, this is the best Sweden's got?
The best of Sweden and the best of France.
C'est qui le taulier? Asatag looking for some kind of an answer. AK in the hands of ZywOo, and that should scare you just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little.
No one's armored up. That'll make it a bit harder. You don't see anything tragic go on in a rich round like this. Nice shot.
Fast reaction.
Yep.
Magisk. He gets another one with just the pistol. And ZywOo's AK, again, should make you nervous. Then suddenly in connector, we've got Vitality with another pistol kill.
Oh,
a 4 versus 2.
No
3
armor.
weapons picked up. No armor and dwindling amounts of time. But a good rotation down to the B site will at least put this into the post plant, you'd think. NiP just as quick as they run down. But both of these players have health. Wallbang won't stop plant. Magisk able to just sit on top of that. Dupree minimizing himself as he crawls by. And now if it's not Rez in the 1v3 clutch, then it's Vitality with the eco round win. Rez pushes in and Vitality push back.
Wow. I didn't think of that. Actually started with ZywOo out-dueling Brolin with a Glock.
Z factor.
The Z factor. No one had armor.
Nope.
Not a single piece of armor. Wow. I mean, that round could have been, that was a gimme. That could have been a snowball here for NiP. They've won already much harder rounds and look like the better team. But they got to stay on full alert. They just gave so much leverage over to Vitality. They were saving for this next round. Their economy is totally recovered now.
That one right there, folks. Round 11. It could be the rebound.
And the money is so bad here for NiP. Brolin's going from an M4 to a 5.7.
Oh. Satag will still have the op, though. 16-4.
Out to the default once again. It doesn't feel like... Oh, okay.
Good boost.
Nice boost. Yeah, they time it so well. And Magiska's hoping to get them actually transitioning out of it. And he will find the opportunity, but he doesn't get a single point of damage on Rez. That is not a great spray at all.
Rez throwing his name to the top of the board right there with Satag. Critical round to recover. Who's going to step up here for Vitality? Apex blinded and swiftly dealt with thanks to the MP9 swing of Plopsky. This is what they need, a rock-solid round to answer back.
Wow.
Okay, you got a little pizzazz.
Oof.
You slipped one onto the board, but let that be the end-all and find NiP right into winning ways once more.
Dude, Vitality do not look good enough to play this map, actually. Just going to say that straight up. Like, they've been too many flat, easy opening duels. One for NiP where there's no answer. This is a round where they just have an advantage. They came off of winning with literally a Glock, no armor, and yeah, they're just flatter than a soda that's been left out now. Like I don't know, they didn't have much incentive to. If it's not weird to die to a boost like that, but even Apex just running out, he got flashed because they hurt him the whole time. You know.
You mentioned that earlier, when it's like sometimes Apex will take those risks. And this one's in a 3 versus 5, obviously. Bit different.
No, yeah, it is.
But it's
also
still same.
NiP weren't even on a full buy, you know.
Yeah.
NiP weren't even on a full buy here.
So with that, NiP with an 8th.
Yeah, and 1 or 2 defaults where they aren't aware of where they can be heard, and they're having trouble keeping up with the pace of the map. With the size of the map and their defaults, like in terms of making time, there should be spots where they should be able to walk, but they're too late to it.
I mean, had you told me that this was a best of 3 and that NiP just got to pick Overpass, I would completely understand.
Right.
And that's kind of how the match has felt, more or less. You know, a quarter of these rounds off of a Zywu Glock start.
Yeah, and look, on the bright side for NiP, and something to praise him about as well, is Rez has just been winning all of his honest duels with his rifle, no problem. Like, very clean, no stress engagements, stopping the short push from happening multiple times.
Additionally, it's not just Rez, not because of Brolin, but Satag having one of the best games that we have seen in months.
Absolutely, on the other side of the map, like completely locking down A.
Vitality, there is no soft flesh to try and sink into. NiP, an armored defense. Front bath under question. Once more, the CTs just fall away.
There's a dent in the composure of Vitality, and that's a good situation to actually peel back a bit, because you know that the other team is now going to waste more time clearing out things just because they're worried, where they don't even need to be. So I like to call to hold back. I think I would, in this situation, having an extra player on A would make sense if they're going to play completely passive, but that's why Hampus was just in heaven, so he's a fast rotation over. And they'll soon find that it is going to be the A site. Brolin's got his sign flash ready.
Apex, oh my god. Again, just kind of sprinting in. Sudden burst of energy, 10 seconds. They have 10 seconds to get past the flower pots with people all around them. I mean, this just falls so flat.
Oof. No shot. They had no chance right there, man. That did not look very promising. Vitality were given the entire arena. They were allowed to get to the front of bathrooms, not taking a single point of damage. The CTs know they're going to play within the site, but that wasn't even a battle. I mean, that was simple. I mean, Brolin didn't even have to use his flash. Apex runs out first. The rest of his teammates are not organized enough to join the hit with him. It just doesn't look scary.
They gave him the entire Coliseum. let them pump up the crowd, and then NiP released the chariots. Just got run over. Ran over and left flat on the road in this next one. Just pistols.
I think it's a great idea sticking Brolin and Stairs. He made a cameo here for a couple of rounds now. Earlier on in the half, though. Oh, what a duel. The awareness here. Esatag catches an arm from ZywOo. Takes him out instantly. That was the op.
Gets picked up by Apex. Perfectly timed flash. 2 entirely blind, and Brolin nabs 1, falls away. NiP just doing as they please in these kinds of rounds. Esatag nearing the 20 kill mark. Apex aim punch going to be a problem, and he walks right into this angle from Esatag, who has just pretty much dominated this A site with the op.
Yeah, no, it's really no stopping him.
And continues on.
Giving him more.
Let's go, NiP.
He's at 20 and 4 on this half.
You know, what I love about Majors is it's always the story of who exceeds expectations.
Sure.
You know? And
Yeah.
who stepped up today to say Esatag was going to give us a better performance than we have seen in months?
Yeah.
Who's the guy in the class that put their hand up to support that idea?
Probably no one. I mean,
Nobody.
there was no stats to really show that that was going to be the case. There was no way to precipitate this, but NiP are going to be ecstatic about the fact that it's happening. This best of 1 win, you know, the next 0-1 matchups in Legends are going to be a nightmare for some teams. There are some scary first rounders, like was it at Navi G2? One of those teams is going to be 0-1. I mean, you don't want to have to go there for sure. It's a huge boon to your odds of getting out of this stage to just win this matchup straight up. So I'm sure NiP probably scratching their heads at the Overpass pick. And Vitality, you can see they had the ideas that they workshopped to bring into the map, but the executions haven't been very clean. Their defaults are not good, just straight up. And they're not, what I thought that they were going to do is try to survive long enough to get into the 5v5 executions, but they are just dying before they get to those spots too many times. And they do not seem to have the players right now to win these 50-50s. They are getting outclassed.
Oh, Brolin. Yeah, gets tapped at by the Tech 9 of ZywOo. Maybe Esatag's here to recover things, looking for the exact same boost as the last round, but it's not coming out just yet. And it won't, because there is no AWP. ZywOo finds his hands onto that AK-47.
They're getting ready to phase the smoke on the other side of Monster. They'll see no T's here at 1:15. And now we're looking for tempo from Vitality as they start to group up outside the bathrooms. But the rotations will start to come into play. Flash comes out. Nice. It's a light exec. After they find Brolin, it might be the right idea.
Esatag, one more time. They need one more round from him on this half. And with that frag, double frag, they don't stop plant. 80 damage against Apex, 3 versus 4 in the retake. And we'll see what's left from the utility here. We've got a smoke, an incendiary on Plopsky. Esatag just trying to set it all up with the flash. Incendiary is going to clear the actual bomb plant. Flashbang goes out. Apex looks away, turns his attention into Plopsky's attempt at the push. ZywOo will be pressured. Rez connects versus Apex. It is him and Esatag, the 2 heaviest hitters of NiP on this CT side. And now the Rifleman looks to continue with a tap into Dupree. He keeps the hopes alive. He jumps on top of Bomb. Matches with just the Glock. There's only enough time. He's got it!
No!
NiP kick Vitality into the second half.
What the hell? I can't believe Rez wins like that. That's insane. That round was done. That was actually a wrap, dude. That last shot from Rez was so nasty. Well, he did what he had to do. He had the smoke. He didn't have time to fight anybody else. He just had to go jump on and stick it, and he does it perfectly.
And he still shows us this crisp kill right here.
This shot is nasty, man.
Just deletes Dupree, dodges death.
This is unbelievable.
R-E-Z.
R-E-Z. Yeah, that's. Well.
40
I like that.
kills between Rez and Esatag as we start this T-side.
Yeah, and those are your A and B players, so it really makes sense why NiP have got this clean 11. they dominated Vitality. Vitality were not good enough in that first half. They'll have to show a new face here on CT side, which they absolutely could do. It'll be a lot easier. They've clearly got stuff to workshop. If they saw what was going to happen in this game on T side, they absolutely would not have picked this map. There's just too much stuff that's too rough. And some say that the only real practice is officials, so it does make sense that you got to bring it in at some point. But they did pick an ostensibly hard opponent to try to play Overpass for the first time against.
They could have caught a lot of teams off guard with this. The fact that they chose NiP, more of a question than an exclamation. Apex blinded, and as he tries to come back at it, it's NiP looking for another pistol round win, and this time it's not a clutch that's needed. It is theirs through and through. Couple Danes left in the retake. 2v5, and they pick up 2 frags to start it, but then Brolin gets the better of Magisk, and Dupree looks to concede. He is gone. And with that, NiP are 4 rounds away from victory.
Damn, I wouldn't even have minded Dupree actually attempting this. I know it's 1v3, but so much time left on the bomb. And, you know, it was just a pistol round, but he would rather take this armor into the next upgrade to get full head armor for measly cost of 300, was it 350 or 300? 350, right?
Yeah.
And that's it.
Hey, was there a bomb over there?
Yeah, that's...
What the heck?
I've never seen that before. Something new happens every game in CS, it seems. Odds greatly in the favor of NiP coming into the second half, and that's because that makes perfect sense. That's why. 22-6 on Asatag, 21-7 on Res, and their impact has been absolutely felt. I mean, so many rifle rounds that looked insane from them. Preying on Vitality's lack of preparation here. Or maybe not lack of preparation, maybe just lack of execution, you know.
Solo armored FAMAS. It at least gets positioned into connector. And then the support falls back. Dupree, uh-oh. Ooh. If Brolin was looking over that picnic table, Dupree would be a dead man. Dupree can sense this. Gets the first one and does it cleanly. That's what's important here. But then as he opens the door, Brolin comes downwards with his teammate. And that's, man, advantage established.
Oh, yeah, completely isolated. I'd have to guess how many players are left, but it's not many. One USP coming in. And the round is over. That's it. 13 here for NiP. Cruising to the finish line.
Damn.
5 rounds in a row. 2 pistols as well. But I don't think pistols made the difference in this game. I really don't.
Except for that Glock from Zywoo.
Except for that Glock round. But actually, you know,
round 11.
They even lose the next round right after that.
That was the last round they won.
Yeah, yeah.
HUD's still messed up, guys. Nobody panic.
Yes.
Okay. I say that because I'm panicking.
It's currently a 5v5. Dupree and Rez, some people say, are the same player. Rez is the far better version today.
Yeah. He's on Esatag's heels.
Happy to play this drive. Brolin takes out Magic. One on the right, and oh, that trade comes down 1v1. They're already inside of B, and the entire site gets overrun just off of this contact play, letting their riflers take their duels.
So quiet until it wasn't.
Looking at Magis floating around outside Monster, peeking to the end of Monster on the CT side, on T side, and looking for his duels. He wasn't winning them then, and now he's on CT side doing the same thing and not winning them here.
With that, it's 14 for NiP, 10 points over Vitality, 2 away from the victory, and at this point, albeit blunt, there's no reason to believe Vitality have a chance, man.
Yeah, they haven't shown us why they should. They haven't shown us why.
Blind faith, maybe.
This is going to be the most simple way NiP could win a round, and they threw it in just to see. This is like a sparring round.
Just to test the waters.
A contact play.
Yeah, they throw out a jab, and Vitality are knocked out.
And it's not necessarily that they've got the better players or even the more consistent players over any kind of large amount of sample size. But right now in Overpass, their players are not comfortable.
Nope.
That's what we see. Their players are not comfortable at all. We saw some trades that Magis could have been able to win. ZywOo is not even close to Esatag's level on this map. In fact, he's lost many duels to him, even in that first half.
Sonic's last chance to get input, but I mean,
Yeah.
you see Apex's reaction.
Final timeout called.
I'm sure.
Ooh, that'll be a sting and regret to know that they could have taken it to anywhere else. They really wanted it to be Overpass.
This was by design and flawed manufacturing. No recalls. No money back guaranteed. Just a thick loss for Vitality to have to handle at the start of the Legend stage. And this is a team, of course, that's coming out of Challengers. Did it very impressively.
Yeah.
Looked great. I mean, I'm not questioning Vitality. I'm questioning Vitality's decision to try and beat NiP on Overpass. See if this CT side can give us anything more to talk about. That is the thing with this. You know, only the second official that this Vitality have recorded on the map. So it's a learning experience with a capital L.
Yeah.
Well-timed flash, but Hampus trades immediately.
Really, really solid trade into middle, paired with the flash, of course. And now NiP will try to trail back to outside monsters. They throw a couple of grenades before the CTs can search back this information. And ZywOo is not in a position to do this by himself in case they are along. So it could be a good timing for them. And they found their way out monster with no one close right. Masuda's not even looking in the right direction. Jump spot comes out. And eventually the trades come down from Plopsky.
Yeah, a couple kills. And as he runs in, you'll see everything else is clear. Apex can't even get ahead of the utility, so from bad to worse. Bomb planted, frag thrown.
Bomb planted on the other side of pillar as well. No damage for that.
Nope.
And an HE back.
Yeah, what goes around comes around.
Okay.
Plopsky continuing with his success inside the site at ZywOo with a chance for health. Burns to a crisp.
Jeez.
And like the hopes of Vitality in their opening map, everything's on fire.
Yeah.
11 match points.
They pretty much did the same thing. They just traded well. Plopsky, double entry out of Monster. He was another person on T side that it called into question alongside Esatag, but he's playing well. All they had to do was trade Hampus. They went literally right back for a Monster contact explode, and Vitality were just not ready at all. They're never in a position to throw their nades early. Too slow to reclaim space. Too poor of a T side. All hope is lost. France in shambles.
The Earth is dying. The aliens won't talk to us. And Brolin is right back home in Swedish CS. But him, Rez, and Esatag. And now I'm curious, you know, if you're all the other teams, if you have, I mean, before this game started, we were talking about NiP who you know, Maui Sake and Maniac kind of chewing into Esatag as the statistics needed to be highlighted, needed to be talked about. I was sat here gobbling it all up. I'm nodding my head along with it every step of the way. They're
right.
doing their job.
They're right. I mean, they're right. You can take one map performance. That won't matter in the grand scheme of things. It's just how this looks right now is good. But, I mean, just state the facts. He is the worst opera in the Legend stage.
And I want to see, you know, the reactions of all the other teams now that this is what's happened on Overpass. Is it just Overpass? Is it just the opening game? But at least there's, you know, a question raised. And right now, they're still fighting for this. I was thinking we could just talk through Vitality winning a round, but now Brolin's jumping down into the water, drop kicks Apex, and the young Swede has himself in the clutch. ZywOo's scout. Ooh, now all that's left is Brolin's gonna keep this one clean. Way too clean, way too easy.
God damn.
NiP dismantle
Brutalized.
Vitality.
Brutalized. That was a stomping. I want to call it a masterclass, but that was Vitality losing the veto, showing us why it shouldn't have been picked, why it did look weird. And NiP doing everything right. And Esatag off to a great start in the stage will mean the world to NiP. They absolutely need him to be able to survive this, and he's playing well enough. And right now they have Brolin, Rez, Hampus, and then